I was caught in the middle of Monty's attack. I looked round and I knew there was no turning back. My mind raced and I thought, what could I do? And I knew, yes I knew there was no help from Luke. Sound of the drums beating in my heart. The thunder of bombs tore me apart. You've been lightningstruck. Rode down the highway, broke the limit. We hit the town, went through the Vernon, yeah, Vernon, and we had some fun. We met some legends, some drinkers who gave up the time. Broke all the rules, played soccer too, yeah, we blew their minds. And I was shaking it with Gee. Another beer again, please. Yeah, the legends were too kind. You've been lightningstruck. Lightningstruck. Yeah, lightningstruck. Ooh, lightningstruck. Yeah. I was shaking it with you. Another beer again, please. A bunch of fun loving bartenders. 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 Lightningstruck. Lightningstruck. Yeah, lightningstruck. Lightningstruck. It's alright. We're doing fine. Yeah, it's alright. We're doing fine. Lightningstruck. 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 You've been lightningstruck.
What's going on, legends? You already know my name, and if you
don't get with the fucking program. This is Lightningstruck. This is LWO Radio. And we're back, baby. Boom! How do you like them apples? Look.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, boys.
Me gusta.
We are so happy to be here. We're going to tackle that in just a second. We're going to break it down, legends, for you. But before I can do that, I got to introduce the panel. I got to introduce our guest, starting with my one and only hostess with the mostest. He's back. I forced him to come along. He's been dragging, kicking, screaming, all of those things. It's Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty Too Hottie, welcome back to the hot seat, my friend.
It's good to be back. I'm excited. I'm wondering why I got invited, but you know what? I'm going to put everything I've got into this one. I've literally put like countless minutes into preparing for this, so it should be a good one.
I agree, Scotty. Contractual obligations, I believe, is the answer to why you're here. We're trying to avoid a lawsuit so close to a Vernon long weekend. But we're happy to have you, and we're happy to have some of the greatest guests from LWO history. Three of the absolute legends spanning multiple areas of this province, multiple generations of LWO, all bringing something special, bringing the heat tonight. I'm going to start with the legend from Abbey, big Vancouver FC fan, apparently. He was telling me before we got on the air. A man who's assured me he's probably not going to pee on air, but would probably. Probabilities, probably. It's Mr. Perry. Perry, how are you, sir?
Gentlemen, long-time listener, huge fan. Really happy to be back. It's an honor and a privilege.
Fantastic. Great to have you back. Understated introduction for yourself, but I like it. It means that we're going to build. That's the theme tonight. We're building towards something. I don't know what it is. It's in about 7 days, but we're building to something. So I don't know. Stay tuned. Let's just kick this thing off right. Next, I want to introduce a legend of the salmon arm soccer scene, a legend amongst us legends, and a man who has an extraordinary belt over his shoulder. The one and only Honey Badger. Welcome, Honey Badger. How are you?
What's going on, Holla? What's going on, boys? Chat, what's going on? Looking a little quiet over there right now. We'll see. We'll get it going.
Chat isn't as spicy. I don't know if you noticed it. I thought we might have lulled them there with Lightningstruck.
I think they're just dazed by that Lightningstruck. Absolutely dazed. I know
I'm
still reeling from it.
That happens. If you're not ready for it, if you're out of practice, it can.
I mean, you gave us a bit of a taster there, and then all of a sudden, the whole thing.
Unbelievable.
Delightful.
Chat, we see you. We see you, chat.
You know it.
Before we come over to you, before we say anything else, though, LWO royalty in the house, a man who needs no introduction. If you don't know who he is, if you don't know what he stands for, that's a you problem, not a me problem. It's Mac Daddy. Mac, how are you?
Holla, this is so awesome. I just want, first of all, shout out to you and Scotty for making this happen. This is something that is a build up to something very, very special. And I think that doing little things like this is one of those little things that makes the difference between us and other groups of teams or groups of people. Like little things like this just build and build and build. And it's what makes us legends as opposed to, coastal legends or something like that, lesser legends. But we are true legends. And it's because of things like this, like everyone's contributing just in different ways to our whole family. And you and Scotty bringing us together during those hard times of COVID, and now keeping it going as a build up to our first May Long in, what is it, 4 years now? Is that right?
4 years.
Unbelievable. So thank you to you guys for making this happen. This is outstanding. I'm so excited for this.
You and me both, brother. Thank you for that, Mac. I know we're going to talk a bit more about it, but you hit on something right there. I think Scotty and I thought both of us were done with this forever. And out of the fire comes the phoenix that is the Vernon May Long tournaments through persistence, through sheer willpower. We manifested this thing, I truly believe, through get-togethers that we've done both online and offline. And I know, like I said, we're going to come on to the tournament next week, but I truly believe at times we wouldn't be doing this episode. So to be here right now, I've got goosebumps. I know we're all pumped. We were talking before the show. We're absolutely pumped. And our job tonight is to share that excitement with all the legends, legions of legends worldwide, because as Perry said before the show, it's like a week before Christmas. This is your 7-day countdown. 7 days from now, we're going to be rolling into Don Cherry's and it's about to get real. So if you're not ready for that, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, this is your primer. You should be ready for it, but this is your primer, starting with Lightningstruck that we started with. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Lightningstruck, we chose to open a little differently. We wanted to set the tone for tonight. Thank you all for being here right at 9. Thank you for participating, and I acknowledge you guys chat in a second. But lyrics by T Money again, the lyrical genius. And that was Koski and Spilly all over that. And T Money wanted me to share this story. I don't know if Sammy Yeager's, I haven't seen him in the chat, but Sammy Yeager, that song manifested itself from T Money tribute when he was singing about you and Lightningstruck at a prior tournament. So he wanted me to share that so that you knew about it. And yeah, that's the way to start. Nessman's, of course, our house band here at LWO Radio. We wish them well. They've done another terrific job. Man, I could just listen to all this music over and over and over again. And I got a feeling that Lightningstruck's going to be belted out next week in the beer garden. I can already hear it. I can already hear it. And that subtle lyric, folks, that subtle lyric, you know the one I'm talking about, the na-na-na-na-na-na, the one that happens in there, I equate that as being as iconic to the hey motherfucker get laid, get fucked in Money Money. It is iconic. So Spilly, thanks for throwing that one in.
No wedding will ever be the same. No wedding will ever be the same.
Absolutely not. So yeah, there you have it. The Nessmans, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't, make sure you give us the thumbs up on YouTube. You know, we got to do it. We got to say it. I was running through my notes. I'm like, don't forget to say that, Holla. Really, it makes no difference to me. But we're material beings, so I guess maybe it does make me feel better. I'll sleep a little better tonight after the 16 beers I'm about to drink. So thanks. Give me that thumbs up. Give us the thumbs up. We're putting a show on. We're going to have some fun with this one. There you have it. Before we get into the dedication, though, shout out to the chat. I'm looking forward to a fiery group. I want to throw some messages up, starting at 8:09 p.m. Julio, I miss you, brother. It's great to see you in the chat early. Hopefully, you've been entertained thus far. You started off right.
It's not like Coolio to yell. So
Coolio, entertain Coolio. Fantastic.
Can I just say one thing? The last time I saw Coolio at Don Cherry's, I believe he was wearing the yellow blazer, and like there was way too much nipple, but just enough for everybody at the same time. So it was like, I'm looking forward to seeing that again. I'm pretty excited about that.
Way too much nipple, but just enough.
Just enough. Just a tip.
Just a little nip slip never hurt anybody, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
That's it was Butcher. They could take your eye out.
Fantastic. The banter has started. Dolly, close second. You know it, Dolly. Good to see you in the chat. And Stanch third. Good crew to open the chat, I gotta say. We got good few legends getting in there.
Count Stantula.
Unbelievable. Giddy up.
Very bitey.
Sounds like he's gonna be riding somebody. I like that. That's nice. Chan, I hope you're amused, my friend.
How old is that photo?
This is a new segment of LWO Radio where we roast the chat.
Is that a grad photo?
Nobody really
Shout out to the chat. I got my Camp Decanter. Drinking from the Camp Decanter.
Reliving a perfect day and the perfect evening. Scotty Too Hottie once again defying technology and being in the chat as well as on the show. No comments from the gallery on that one. All right. T Money, executive producer of LWO Radio and lyrical genius. Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed hearing your creation come to life on LWO Radio. Legendary Monty, I know he's watching with Dolly in the bunker, he says. Texted me before the show. He reminded me about somebody's birthday, which we're going to shout out a little bit later. Monty, we love you. Looking forward to seeing you next week. RG lost. I heard he lost the battle, an Achilles battle, but maybe he didn't. Nobody really knows. RG, I hope you're having a great time.
I feel sorry for the Achilles.
I got a question. Is Scotch Creek a real place, or is that like a euphemism for like drinking a lot of whiskey? Or is it both?
Could be both. Could be both. It is real place. Good campground.
He's got a place there. So he's hanging out there with some probably spotty Wi-Fi, just having a real nice time. That might be a place where he goes by himself. He might be Solon's family. So this might, way to go, Glanville.
Good prep work.
Little me time.
Way to go, RG. Got a little special shout out from Mac there, buddy. This is a 4-parter. I'm going to do it real quick. You got to watch the screen, all right? I like it.
And he had a real twist.
There's 100% no chance I could have done that with the messages later in the episode. That took a lot of coordination.
That was a fragment.
Doctor, great to see you, pal.
What do you think the doctor is fishing for in that picture?
Oh, good question.
Marlon?
Another PhD.
Another PhD.
Oh, here's one.
Batesky.
There it is.
Batesky, smart man, just used his initials. Can't rip that.
Yeah.
Look
Well,
at
I
this
can
guy.
rip his spelling of damn.
Look at this guy. Peach. Glad to see you. Great to see you in the chat. Another legend coming up here. Dave Bartman, I understand there was some pre-drinking at the shop tonight, so good on you, my brother.
Sure would love a hat. Bart's muffler hat.
Oh,
I mean,
throwing some. Perry's throwing down the sauce early.
big fan
Speaking
of
of fishing,
merch.
Fishing. You know it. Alec. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
skiing of some sort.
On a
Great
side
stuff.
note, we're gonna actually save Alec a walk across the highway there. He can just sleep in the lobby, save himself some time, and then he's actually in the right hotel this time.
That was really good planning on somebody's part.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got one more. We got a late arriver. Richie, can you please take off your tarp? We'll screenshot it and send it to my ex as best part of her Mother's Day present. I'm not wearing a tarp, Richie, but if I was, I 100% would take it off so that you could take a screenshot.
I like
And
that.
is that like a weight joke?
I'm really confused with that.
Is that a compliment or is it a criticism?
Oh, fuck Bridgie. Just in case it's not a compliment.
One more in there. Teresa, lovely to see you in the chat.
Apparently the Oilers just scored too.
And Oilers scored.
Hmm.
And I think we got everybody.
Oilers?
I don't know. That's what it says in the chat.
Oh,
You know it. All right.
someone's not
We've
paying
acknowledged-
enough attention.
It's
We've
me.
acknowledged everyone in the chat. We're off to a screaming start. Talked about the Nessmans. We've introduced all your guests. We're 20 minutes in. Oh, my shirt. I got you, Richie. I got you. We'll talk, maybe we'll show off my shirt a little bit later. So now's not the time. It's still too early. We've done all of it. And so the next part, as you know, in any show is to make a dedication. And so this week we are dedicating the show to two different individuals for different different reasons. So we'll go to the episode dedication, and I shall present the first one. So our first dedication goes out to Ed McDonald. As many of you know, Mac's dad recently passed away and was a teacher at Jackson, which I understand has a huge rivalry with Salmon Arms School of some type. So we just wanted to dedicate this episode to Ed McDonald for all the obvious reasons. I know I taught many of the legends, and so just wanted to make sure that we had a dedication there. So dedicated to you, Mac, and to your father, Ed. And the next dedication is another legend. We got a stock photo here. This dedication goes out to Sam Yeager. I just Googled Sam Yeager and that's what came up. So Rotten luck, Sam Yeager, for that dedication. But I understand he just got back at a successful knee surgery, ACL surgery. It's touch and go whether he's going to start for us next weekend. But fingers crossed, Sammy. Fingers crossed, buddy. But this episode is dedicated to you. And knowing Sammy, he's probably pissed off that we're doing this. So, but it's a stock photo. I mean, what can I say? So those are our dedications this week. Just simple, straight to the point. A couple folks that we thought were meaningful to dedicate the episode to, and yeah, that's the long and the short of it, really, legends.
Holla, you've been scrolling through guys' LinkedIn profiles to get some of these photos, or
Google. I just typed in people's names and their pictures come up. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
If that was Sammy's Tinder profile, I would date him.
It 100% was.
Sam's older than his picture. It's unbelievable. All right. Done the dedication. We've done all this stuff. We've introduced everyone. We've set a vibe. It's only right that we move on to everyone's favorite segment, the episode sponsor. And for that, I'm going to turn it over to my hostess with the mostest, Scotty Reddick. Over to you, Scotty.
Thanks, Holla. New in 2023 to Hoax Corp's Anal Administration Division comes to you a brand new form of vitamin and supplement product, Poopster Juice. Canada's newest and most intimate online juice smoothie bar brings to you the highest quality ingredients with an unrivaled freshness that you can truly feel working its healthy magic within seconds of beginning the consuming process. Simply go to their website, place your orders, and 3 to 5 business days later, get ready to have your freshness package delivered right to your doorstep. Oh, and if you're new to the world of administering food through your anal canal, don't worry, the process could not be easier. Simply unpackage your smoothie of choice. Then liberally apply some lubrication to the beehole valve. Gently insert the now lubricated beehole valve into your anal canal. And begin to enjoy your meal or snack. Poopster Juice is available in a variety of choices, including Kiss My Wheatgrass, Rectum, Damn Near Kaledom, Bombs a Whey Protein Punch, Almond Butt Avalanche, and of course, everyone's favorite, Chocolate Thunder Colonoscopy. Poopster Juice, bringing fresh and healthy food to the masses directly through their asses. Back to you, Holla.
Another fantastic sponsor, Scotty. You hit that one out of the park. I'm delighted to say that all of our guests today will be receiving complimentary Poopster Juice of your choice in our gift bag at the end of the show.
Take my money.
Take my money. Chat, you're going to want to get in on that one. I had a little sampling of the Chocolate Thunder earlier, and let me tell you, I'm still tasting it.
Num nums.
Fantastic. That's the episode sponsor. We're flying. We're flying. And now on to our main segment. Tonight, it's really about just getting the good times going. It's about chatting about next week. It's talking about what we're looking forward to, what we want to do, some of the things we're expecting. But, you know, sometimes before you move forward, you got to look at the past. And in our case, we're going to look at some recent history. As much as we love to talk about the legends of soccer, the legends of hockey have held it down this year with a significant tourney win a little earlier this year. So for that, and a little conversation about that, I want to turn it over to you, Mac. I want to hear a little bit about the hockey tournament and the title that was won by our brothers in hockey.
Yeah, man. So Legends of Hockey has been going for a few years now. It's a spinoff of the LWO. You see a couple jerseys in the background. It was just a chance for us to do something in the soccer off season where we were like, we got to get together and do something here and carry on the good times from soccer into a different kind of channel. And so we decided to get that going, and it just kind of built, and it's now a bit of a mainstay. And we've kind of recruited some of the great soccer players and brought them in and let it be known right away that it is not a competitive thing. If you want to come, just let us know and we are going to make it work. And it's just really great time. So super fun that we got this going. And we have now won multiple hockey tournaments. So I'd get T-Money a while ago just gave me the tourney lightning bolt. So another hockey championship right there, the Blacks up top. So that's our fourth. So 4 titles for the Legends of Hockey. It's freaking outstanding. And it really is just one of those kind of, when we go to the Vernon tournament and when guys first arrive, and that for me is like one of the best moments when we first see each other, whether it's at Don Cherry's or wherever, and there's the big hugs and there's just that moment of everyone seeing each other. It's the same thing for the Legends of Hockey. You come into that change room and there's a few guys in there and you give us, and then everyone, as they come in, the love is just spreading and it's unbelievable. And it is just, it's all about family and the good times and it's so good.
That dressing room is like, as soon as you walk into it, the vibe and the aroma is electrifying. Just unbelievable. Just being in that room, nose is flaring, heart is beating.
What's the shower situation like, Badger?
Communal.
Cool.
Yeah. I didn't even play, but I got in there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Be one of the guys, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Badger's right. It's got its vibe, and it's a small space in the change room, so you're kind of it's intimate in a way that's very platonic. So it's all good. And anyway, it is one of my highlights. The soccer stuff is definitely number one on my list, but the Legends of Hockey has its own different vibe, and it is so awesome. So this year was really, really fun. And it led to a lot of really cool events that we can share in a little bit here. But yeah, just getting guys together is what it's all about, and it's so fun.
I love it. I love it, guys. It's great to hear about it. And obviously, we're about the social times. We're about the getting together. We're about the family feel. We're also about winning. I think we'll come on to the fact that it's been 4 years since the soccer 2019, making us something like 8-time world champions or something. I Troy's the athlete of the group, but
undefeated in 4 years.
Undefeated in 4 years, times 2 teams. I know we really all, as much fun as we had in Salmon Arm last minute long weekend, we did miss that tournament aspect. A lot of the guys mentioned it. It was just the cherry on top. The hockey boys held it down though. They won. So not only a great fellowship, but also a great victory in the end, right?
Yeah, totally. So, you're absolutely right in that when we get out there, we go fight for each other and we battle. And one of the things I really respect about our guys is we have such a history together that we are willing to just go battle for each other. And even if we're not the most skilled players in the world, we're going to go fight for each other and work for each other. And we got each other's back. And that is what makes us super, super special, is that we'll beat the more talented groups just because we got each other's back. And that it's super, super cool. So at the hockey tournament, one of the traditions is on the first night, we go to Monty's, we have some beers and hang out at his place and kind of BS and greet each other. And that is like one of those special moments. And it was really cool this year to see all the guys as they rolled in. Gussie is outstanding. He usually recruits a few Williams Lake guys for us. And he didn't let us down this year. He got another recruit that was clutching up for us. And he was a really great guy. So, as guys roll in and we're having some beers and just kind of BSing and have some fun there, super awesome. And then the games themselves are like, I'll just share maybe a couple of the highlights. So, actually, one of my favorite highlights, and Badger, you can add more to this because you were probably more present during this time than I was. After our last game on Saturday, we had a whole bunch of people coming and just supporting us and hanging out, and outside the beer gardens in the hallway of the arena, Sarah and Kelly Vincent and Andrew McCarville and Monty and a few others just decided to get some games going, which again is another like big part of the LWO, is like, we'll just make fun out of nothing. Like, okay, beer gardens is fun, but how can we take this to the next level? And so they made this kind of like almost like a bocce like game outside, and they were playing this, and it was so fun to watch, and people were getting into it, and watching some of Monty's reactions after some of the shots was just absolute gold. Troy wanted me to mention this was a pretty funny thing. When we went into the beer garden, there was a couple of cute gals working the gardens there, and so we bought a bunch of beer from them, and we were like, you know what? They're playing that game out there. Are we cool to take some beer outside, like go out of the beer garden? They're like, well, you're gonna have to check with Dave. And I'm like, Dave? Do you mean like Dave Knight? And they're like, yeah, Dave Knight. And I'm like, well, he's wearing our scarf out there, so I think we're gonna be okay. So we then took all the beers outside. We had a real nice time. It was outside. It was awesome. So Nighter hooked us up. You know, he's got big rights up in the facility there. So he has in the past put up. Did you do it this year, Nighter? I didn't even notice if you did. I think you probably did. Put it like welcome legends on the big electronic board outside the arena and stuff like that. And we're drinking beer wherever the hell we want in the arena. So massive props to you, Nighter.
It was a good time. That hockey bocce was just phenomenal. It's a tricky game too. It wasn't not an easy game to chuck pucks and make them stick like you are on a bocce court. You know, try a couple of different techniques, trying to do the backhand throw, the little side flick. Takes a very special throw.
And there was a lot of scuff mark, like puck marks on the floor afterwards. I'm sure that your maintenance guys were not happy with that. Canny puck. Is that what it's called, Monty?
Puck, that's a good name.
Yeah, awesome.
I prefer the Western grip. Have you ever tried that one?
No.
There's two variations. There's the puck Western grip and then the hand job version. But both are dynamite.
Yes.
Google that too.
Paul, sounds like your poopster juice is kicking in there.
I don't know who that was, but
I think we know who it was. So a couple of stories from the hockey that were actually legit awesome. So in the fun, so we play through the games, blah blah blah. We go to the bar at night, and that was super fun. A bunch of guys ended up being thrown into the back of a truck to get back to Monty's house, and I don't know how that went down. And the champ arrived at the pub at what is it called, the Crown and Anchor. The champ was there and decided to, I think he was beating Coolio and pool, and anyway, it was super good times.
I think Coolio was actually chalking a few cues over in the corner. I really didn't catch all of it, but he was playing with another team there for a little bit.
Is that a hand job reference too?
I think so.
I don't know. There was a pool table
chalking
around.
Some cues over in the corner with the other team.
Yeah, I think he was. Anyway, so we had a real nice time that night, of course.
Someone did.
As we threw two at once. And the next day, it ended up, we made the final, which is outstanding and super fun. So, we're getting ready for the final, and we're feeling a little rough. But anyway, so we're in the final. We're playing hard, and we actually build ourselves a bit of a lead in the first period, and things are looking good. At the end of the first, we go in for a little bit of intermission. They're going to flood the ice. I give a rousing speech to get everyone fired up, and then we come up for the last period. And one of the guys going from the other team going to the face-off circle says, "Take it easy on us, guys," to our bench. He's like, "Hey, take it easy on us." And Benny, on cue, leans over the edge of the bench and starts puking all over the place, like full on spewing vomit all over the ice. He clearly wasn't happy with the condition of the ice. The flood was not good enough. He wanted to fill some of those cracks in. And the guy just starts howling. And that was the TSN turning point, because Ben Stanchfield, they started to fucking dominate us after that. They scored a whole whack load of goals. They saw the weakness, and they ended up tying it up, and we got ourselves a game, and it was super, super exciting. So way to go, Ben. You entertained us. You made a game for the crowd. It was super exciting. And what a moment. I'll never forget the dry heaves coming from beside me as the very clear fluid came out with not a lot of chunks, like very few. I think it was pretty much all liquid. So well done, Ben Stansfield. I don't know, Ben, if you can hook us up in the chat. with some details about how you're feeling, that would, maybe help with the storytelling here.
That was just an absolutely entertaining game too. I don't even remember what the score is. I want to say it was like 12-11 or something ridiculous.
I think it was 9-8. I actually have a picture of the scoreboard that I can show later on. I think it was 9-8.
But it was an overtime win, if I'm not mistaken.
It was an overtime win. Nider, maybe you can help me out with this, because as I say, everything's a bit of a blur. Another one of the highlights, and this is freaking awesome, was one of our goals was we get it deep into their end. And one of the Williams Lake boys who's played for us for a couple of years now, Steve Carpenter, Gussie hooked us up with him. Super good guy, comes down, has a real nice time with us, fits in super well with the boys. He comes in and he kind of just blows a tire. I don't know if he got tangled up with a guy or whatever, but he kind of went down really awkwardly, and he stayed down like he was dying. Like he was rolling all over there. Just foam. That's right, champ. He's rolling on the ice a little bit and struggling to get up. And I'm not kidding. Like, this is probably about 10 or 15 seconds of him laying down there slowly trying to get back to his feet. The puck, meanwhile, gets into the corner, gets wrapped around, gets ringed around. I think it was Mike Grace who cut it off. Mike Grace, in his infinite wisdom, decides that he's going to whip a pass to Carps, who's just now coming up on his knees. Carps takes a wild backhanded kind of stab at it, kind of whiffs on it, but gets enough contact for the puck to trickle in somehow into the net from about 15 feet out. And Carps' reaction was absolute gold. When the puck went in, he kind of got up, looked at the net, looked away, and gave one of these like poo-poo kind of gestures. And it was just absolute magic. It was like one of my favorite moments of all time playing hockey. It was entertainment at its absolute finest. Carps, massive shout out to you. Grace, shout out for having the infinite wisdom to give it to the guy who looked like he was dying while he was on one knee trying to get up on his backhand side from 15 feet out for the one-timer. Absolute gold. It was just phenomenal. So good.
Just a stunner.
It was a stunner. It was a stunner.
Crowd went wild.
Yeah. There was a decent crowd of probably about 5, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
These details don't matter, Mac. They don't matter. It was a crowd.
No, you're right. There was more than that, and there were signs, and there was all sorts of stuff. There was kids giving us like high fives as we're going into the change room. It was unbelievable. And then
it was a hometown team too, Salmon Arm, the Warriors, I think their names were.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So
anyway, we go to overtime, and then one of the guys that because we had a couple like late dropouts, we had to pick up some bodies, and Gussie said, "Hey, I got a guy. Look, he'll be instantly one of our best players." And we're like, "Yeah, bring him." All Gussie's guys have turned out to be absolute top-notch guys. And so he comes in, and he's playing for 2 teams. He's playing for fucking 2 teams in this tournament. He plays for us, and then he plays for another team throughout the entire tournament. In the last day, he played for us in the first game. He went off and played for the second period of the game for the other team, and then he came back and joined us for the final. I think he bailed on his other team in their second game. He left partway through that game to come play for us in the final. Absolute awesome. He obviously, wanted to be a part of the group, and he fit in real well. His name is A.A. Ron. So way to go, A.A. Ron. So overtime. We're playing. It's sudden death. Puck gets deep in the corner, and I think it's Bartman. Bartman goes in there, wins a hard battle, just like one of those grinding kind of lines and shifts where he does the work, keeps the puck in their end, wins it a couple times, and keeps it in there. The puck gets deep, and somehow it kind of squirts out to A.A. Ron. A.A. Ron with the laser top shelf. Maybe it wasn't top shelf. I don't even know. It went in the net, and everyone goes wild, and we win, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. And then, yes, he was a hell of a player. And I mean, that obviously is the cherry on top. Like, all these good times hanging out together is awesome. But then to also, have that tournament victory is just so great. And then the vibes in the change room afterwards, that's where the magic happens. Guys are showering. It's so hot. There's soap all over everybody. We were drinking the championship whiskey. FYI, just a little shout out and a teaser for all the boys here. We got Legends Championship Blend here. Ooh. So that will be brought, and everyone will get a taste of that delicious championship blend. Special reserve. Special reserve. Everyone's going to get that for sure. But championship blend only gets opened if we win a tournament. So we were able to crack a bottle of the championship blend on that weekend, which was absolutely outstanding. So good.
Fantastic, Mac. And having had at least one of those versions, I can tell you it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I love shouting them out. What else you got for us, Mac?
You know what? I'd just like to maybe just share a couple photos. I don't want to take up a ton of time here, but I would like to share just a couple of photos from the weekend, just to give guys a sense of, guys who weren't there, a chance to check it out. Can you see my screen now, Holla?
You got it. You are live and on the. You are.
Yeah. So there's the boys there. Great looking group of guys. You can see Coach Champ there. This is at Monty's place. We had some Stella Artois as a tribute to my dad. He was a Stella guy. So on the night of, we got some Stella there, and that was a real nice moment for me. There's us the puck bocce. What is it? Canny puck. Canny puck, as Monty called it. My DD's there in the middle. Abby was phenomenal. I was supposed to drive home, and then I got hammered, and she came and took care of me. So outstanding. Look at all those.
I don't want you to move on just yet. I just want to acknowledge, if you could go back for a second, how handsome a man Chris Britchie really is.
Fuck Britchie.
This is the wrong photo because all I can see is Bartman, who is also very handsome, but like he's photogenic. What a stud.
In this group picture, look at Britchie. He's stealing the show. Let's be honest.
And
I was actually more focused on the rocket on the right side there, wearing the yellow jean jacket. But
oh yeah,
absolutely.
Now you're talking, Mike Perry.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
For anyone in this picture to shine, like you're looking at a picture of all Ferraris.
That's right.
Right. And then there's one Ferrari that's just a little extra shiny. For anyone to stand out in a photo like this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good working.
And the bearded gentleman on the side there, who no one knows, that's my cousin. He came in for my dad's funeral. So he was like, "You guys got a hockey game? Fuck yeah, I'm coming." So he came and hung out, and he was awesome. He just had a real nice time. He enjoyed watching it. This is at the pub. This is where the champ arrived. I just wanted to include this one just to show a little bit. We got the patches rolling, and guys were wearing the denim. It was real nice to see some of that. No one got stabbed or anything. This is the truck ride home. I was not privy to this. I walked home, but these guys, there's Coolio, fucking Coolio. Hey,
smart.
He made it about 3/4 of the way home, and then he got chucked in the back of the truck for the last 10 feet.
It looks like he's lying in state.
Someone's
Carps had a good hold on him. I think Carps had a really good hold on him there. It was all right.
And Carps is looking at his ass hard. I think there might be, I don't know what's going on there. There's the final score right there.
There you go.
Yeah, 9-8, very good. And of course the change room. Oh, don't I'll probably forget about this. So remind me that I have to tell a story about guys asking about Victoria. There's our coaching staff, Monty and the champ. They did a great job, juggling lines, giving the speeches when they need to.
No wonder you won.
Monty was looking good in that picture too.
Yeah.
Looking good, Monty.
Looking good, Monty.
I like the trim of your jib.
Champ doesn't look like his profile picture. You're right, Perry.
Yeah. Here you can see some. Look at the fans had already streamed out by now, but you can see the ones that are sticking around looking to get autographs afterwards. There's a few still mingling about. And then I believe this last picture is my favorite picture of all. There we go.
Oh, hold on.
Coolio.
You gotta tell Benny to get his screen capture out before you flash that stuff out.
Yeah. So anyway.
If she has an apple, she has a banana. Is that the motto there?
That last picture was courtesy of Britchie. Speaking of the handsome gentleman, Britchie is magical in a lot of ways, but one of the things he does very well is he juggles a lot of relationships. And he at the tournament, he was like, "I might go and see my friend after the tournament." And we all know what that was like. It's code
Yes,
speak, but it's not code speak at all. And he was like, you know what? I'm just not feeling it. I might just go straight home. I'm like, dude, you're going to see your friend. And then he decided to go see his friend. And as a kind of verification that he made it to see his friend, he sent us that photo, which is absolutely phenomenal. And that is the type of thing that, gentlemen, anyone watching right now, Gussie sent one time that I would love to include in a calendar. Richie's photo they sent would be great for an LWO calendar. If you have any models who'd be willing to take a scarf and do something creative with it, please forward them to me, and I will archive them for use at a later date, or maybe a very soon date. Yeah.
Oh, I think Perry's taking you up on that right now.
I love it, Perry. I love it. Send me those pictures as soon as possible.
Bit of a disclaimer: if you're on a date with Richie right now, you're his only girlfriend. So
Yes, yeah.
One and only. One and only.
Yeah.
What a date night this would be.
Yeah. Oh, and I said I'd forget, and you didn't remind me, but I didn't forget. One of the cool things in the change room afterwards was some of the salmon arm guys, like who I know through the hockey, but I don't know really well. Like Chalmers, our goalie. He's just a good dude. He comes and he really enjoys it, obviously, because he wants to come and play for us. But he in the change room came up to me. He was like, dude, like, we got to do another tournament. And he and Bartman and Coolio and Dolly, the Samurai guys who I know well, they were like, we got to do this again. We're going to do the Victoria tournament. Like, you got to make that happen. So the fact that, a guy who doesn't really know us really well comes up to me and says, like, hey man, I'd love to come to another tournament. Let's do it. It's a real compliment to our dudes who we play with, who make everyone, like, new guys just come in and feel welcome. AA Ron obviously enjoyed playing with us, and new Steve. So we had one of Koski's really good buddies. Bootsma was going to play for us, but he ended up wrenching his back or something like that, so he wasn't able to play. So Koski just asked his neighbors, like, hey man, you want to play with us? And he comes in and he just had an absolute blast. You could just tell, like, he was smiling, enjoying the time, and he's hung around in the change room the whole time. And that is what those tournaments and May Long, that's what it's all about. It's just being with a bunch of really good dudes, hanging out, enjoying some real good times. And as a benefit, we get to go and compete with each other and, hopefully win some tourneys. But let's be honest, that's not the real thing. And Britchie, I'm glad you got consent. That's great.
Well, it does. So first of all, Mac, I don't want to dismiss what you just said, because I think it's absolutely true that, hockey, soccer, good times, contagious, the spirit, the fellowship of LWO. It's fantastic. Secondly, though, I do want to address this from Richie. I know you shared it with the chat, you got consent, but that's on the World Wide Web now. So I don't know how you want to approach that with kid gloves, whatever. But somebody's famous now. And likely the background on Benny's phone now. So hopefully you got permission for that. I think it's a good time, unless I'm mistaken, to draw a line under the championship of LWO hockey from this year. Is that cool? Great recap. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Honey Badger, for weighing in. I love to hear about these championships. We had 19 people. Just dropped down to 17. We're really pissing people off. But we got 17 listeners, only 9 likes. So get the thumbs up. Let's get it going here. And before we get into Vernon May Long Weekend, I did forget. You can't blame me. I am a little bit rusty. I haven't done this in I don't know. It feels like a couple of years now. But we do want to do a boat race. It's time. Let's bring the spirit. Let's get it going. Let's get the hype. So we're going to do a boat race. I have no idea what the Mississippi count record is. Someone in the chat, please remind me. I feel like it's 12 or 13 Mississippis, but I don't really know. And quite frankly, I don't really care. But I will Mississippi count this boat race. I don't know if we decided an order yet. So why don't we do that live on air? Because, we can adapt and overcome. Who's going in the one spot?
I'll go first.
Oh, that's good. That's a good call, Perry. I would love to go behind. I'll take the bullet and go behind Perry because
Perry, then
no one
Scotty.
wants to be like after Perry for stuff. I don't know if you can read the innuendo there, but I'll take this one.
Okay.
I'll go after Scotty.
He has a big penis.
Badger is the anchor. Okay, you guys gotta remember that because I didn't write it down and I won't remember it. But as is tradition, and I feel like I'll be Mississippi counting, but in spirit, I always want to have a beer ahead of time. So let me crack one. Awful timing, by the way, because I got a massive burp coming, and I'm just gonna lay it right on top of it, so I could get some of that foamy goodness that we were talking about with Benny. Fairly quickly here.
I'm full of smoothie. You can get it at both ends.
If
Like,
you guys,
this could be disastrous.
If you guys could occupy yourselves, keep each other company while I do this over the next few minutes, that would be great.
I've got movement down the hall here, and like I said, full of smoothie. Don't know what's going to happen. Like, oh my God, get the mops. Kaboom!
Speaking of like poopy, Mike Perry made a guy shit his pants and he made like a nice one, Holla.
Yeah,
solid.
Let's go back. We'll circle back to the pant pooping.
Yeah.
All right.
Mike Perry.
You guys ready to go? Who do we
Yeah,
say?
are you ready with the Mississippis?
Oh, yeah, no. I feel really. Why do I always do that right out of the can? Can somebody please? I think it's just tradition now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm seeing Mac with the mug there. That's probably a better strategy, to be honest.
I've got
Well,
a goblet.
you know what? If we ever do another one of these, I may reconsider.
You go to Bed Bath and Beyond before this show there, Scotty? What is it?
Every day, man. Every day. They have terrific sales. Terrific.
What is
like
that?
their linens.
Wayfair? Are we talking about Wayfair?
No,
I'd
Bed
like to
Bath
get
and
in on
Beyond,
that
idiot.
conversation.
Listen to the conversation.
All right.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to get started. We're going to say 3, 2, 1, then go. And then I think, Perry, you were first out of the gate. So are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Alabama, 10 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
15 Mississippi.
Nice out, Perry.
Thank you.
Well done, Chris McDonald.
18 Mississippi. 19
Boy.
Mississippi, 20 Mississippi.
Ah! New record!
Record. Gotta be. Gotta be.
Unbelievable effort, legends. That is the new 2023 record.
Yes!
Crushed.
That's what I was
Oh,
going for.
God.
I knew it was there somewhere. They were fast Mississippi's. Champs called me. Yeah, I'm out of practice. I just got all excited. I was trying to get that burp out.
Oh.
It's a good shout, though. You're probably right. You
What
know
just
what?
happened
All
in
beers
the
are
top
good
of the
beers. It's
scene
about
there?
training. It's about next week. It's about having a good time.
Finish my smoothie, Perry.
That was without a doctor's assistance.
I'm so full.
Oh, Sarah McDonald's watching all the way from beautiful Maple Ridge, I believe, right now.
Oh, Maple Ridge by the sea. Love it.
That's
Fantastic.
a bridge away. That's a bridge away from me.
Bridge away. Nice to see you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so I mean, hey, if that didn't get the spirits up, I don't know what was. Hopefully you join us, legends, at home. It is a self-participation. You got to count your own Mississippis while you do it. But
Hey, why is
well done.
Monty
And
calling me
vote
out there? I
Monty
thought I
is
had a
all
pretty
over you,
decent
Perry.
beer.
fun for the whole family. Like
I'm a Roman
if
Coke
you
guy.
don't have enough for a boat race, get the kids out of bed. That's what it's all about. So yeah, let's get on to the main event. Let's talk about next weekend. I mentioned earlier, 7 days. It's just about 10 p.m. right now. It's just before 10. This is typically the time the man band's getting pretty close to Vernon, and I know we're on some slightly different schedules as we're planning for next week, and we may be there a little earlier than 10, 11 p.m. this year, as we have an earlier than normal departure. Shout out to you, Bremner, who has also added a Monday ferry. He's eager to tell everyone that will listen. But yeah, let's start the hype. Let's start talking about next weekend. Let's talk about how we're feeling. I know I said before we got on the air that I was actually feeling a little bit anxious about tonight being on the air again. It had been a while. I still haven't really wrapped my head around next week. I've heard a few text messages from some of the guys this week. I haven't quite got my head there. This is the purpose of this show. Get your head there. 7 days. 7 days from now, you're going to be hugging it out with a legend of your choice.
7 days from now, Bremner's going to be kicked out of Don Cherry.
Days from now, Bremner will be kicked out of Don Cherry.
And we'll have a $1,500 taxi bill on our hands per Adam, knowing how this drive up with Bremner is going to go.
Is there a hop on, hop off bus in Vernon?
There's a hop on, hop off mobility scooter, I'm fairly certain.
You know what they have, and this I'm actually scared to say this and encourage people to do this. They have those scooters that you can like tap and you like jump on, hop off, those scooter things.
Oh, I'm in.
That just screams Alec. You got to get like 4 of them, and just who knows where you could be in.
Strap them together like a chariot and have a skateboard behind it.
Ride them to
I want to go
Texas.
Dumb and Dumber with Monty, where we double on one of them. Oh man, I'll jump on his back. He'll double me. Oh man,
to the strip club.
1 week out, the good ideas are here, folks. Troy reminds me he's also been kicked out of Don Cherry's. It was a recorded incident. Way more angry than I was about it.
Wow.
But that's okay. I always pack an extra recorder, T-Money, in case you didn't know. So let's talk about next week. We just heard a lot from you, Mac. Heard a bit from you, Badger. So I'm going to start with Perry because you're up on the rotation, sir.
I have to admit, I was a little nervous at the start of the show. I think the last time I'd been on the radio would have been the last time I was on this radio show. So yeah, this is always a fun time, always a good time, and I know we've been looking forward to Vernon for a while. We made a good run up in Salmon Arm there last May long weekend. I still have some super fond memories of Badger and the crew there opening up that Salmon Arm clubhouse. I may have overdone it on the ride up, and yeah, I might have painted the walls of the hotel prior to even like getting to the clubhouse, but that's whatever. I had a clogged sink. There's bad plumbing in my hotel room, so room service took care of that. But yeah, the ride up honestly is a highlight for me. Coming through the valley is always slow traffic, and I always have some sort of bit of intel in terms of back roads to get us to Vernon, but I feel like it just goes by in a blur, but for some reason it's a 6-hour drive. I don't know, somehow it's like some sort of like time warp where we're just cruising. But yeah, I would say this is the highlight of my year soccer wise. We obviously play a lot of soccer throughout the year, and guys are doing different things, and just kind of piggybacking on what Max said there about the hockey and the talent that we have and success we've had on the ice, and then you get guys doubling down and playing soccer too. So it just shows you, we encourage multi-sport athletes throughout our education system. We're products of what people are wanting in our athletic program. Multi-sport, just awesome legends.
Raging alcoholics.
And there's a little bit of that in there. So we're multi-talented.
You know what I like, Perry? Not only do we encourage multi-sport legends, but in some cases, no sport legends. It's a
Absolutely.
wide variety and spectrum of legends that are on this.
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
Well, he's on the team just on his name alone.
Yeah, unbelievable. Perry, I have a specific question though for you.
Sure.
Next 7 days, what are you doing in the build-up? How are you? Talk us through like the emotions as you start to think about this thing that's happening in a week's time. You kind of gave us that picture of how special this is, but like what? Talk us through the next 7 days.
Yeah, I'd say obviously Mother's Day this weekend. Got to make sure you prioritize the legends' moms, because without the moms we wouldn't be here. So shout out to the moms. But beyond Sunday, I'm obviously a school teacher. I'm educating the minds of tomorrow. So I am a bit preoccupied with work kind of leading up to the weekend, but I've basically got 4 movies set up to show over the next 4 days, just to make sure that, I don't get distracted, because thank God for Netflix, because there's so many different volcano movies and earthquake movies I can show. I teach earth science, so they actually don't give a shit. Like they basically, I put a show on, they're excited, rocks for jocks. So we'll keep those kids busy. So work wise, I'm fine. And then it's just mental preparation, really. Like I've actually, thanks to Murdog, I don't know if he's in the chat, but he sent me a couple of yoga videos and sort of meditation videos that I can kind of do here in the basement. He sent me a couple of other videos, which I definitely didn't look at on school Wi-Fi, but they were pretty good once I got home. And then, just getting my legs stretched out and hydrate and, just mentally, physically prepare for what is about to happen. And, Troy had reached out to me a few months ago saying, here are our numbers. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, keen. Like, our G and I chatted briefly. We ran into each other at the Whitecaps game there. We were sort of like, pontificating, like what strategies we were going to kind of get going for the weekend. But there was
Hopefully
possibility
of buttload of goals. Like that's what I'm kind of hoping for.
Make the opposition shit their pants is what we basically came to. So tactic number one. But no, what I was going to say is that we were sort of thinking we might have needed a couple more guys. And, I play soccer in the Valley here. So you kind of think about which guys are talented enough, first of all, to make the roster, but then legendary enough. And that's a tough combination. I also, you look at our roster and you got everybody kind of checks all the boxes. Talented. Can't drink a beer very fast. Sorry, you can't come. Decent soccer player, not legendary enough. So, I mean, I don't want to throw shade or anything like that at anybody, but it's a special group of guys for a reason. And I'm just thrilled and excited and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll obviously be checking out the multitude of Murdog's videos there, just getting myself mentally, physically prepared for a weekend of good times.
Well said, Perry. Well said. And Legends, I think if you want some of the secret sauce from Murdog, you just probably need to get in touch with the Murdog himself, or I'm sure Perry would be happy to forward things, not from his school email account, obviously. There's filters and shit for that. But I mean, what do I know? I'm only in IT, but don't do that from your school internet. Trust me on that one. All right. Well said. I love the background on what you're doing to get ready for the tournament. I want to go to Badger next. We heard a little bit from you already on the hockey episode, but Honey Badger, talk to me about your feelings leading up to next weekend, what you're doing, how you're staying ready. Where you at, brother?
For me, Holla, I'm trying not to focus too much. That's the key. I don't want to get too excited too quick, kind of like being a teenager again and trying to picture the old librarian to try and settle the nerves a bit and not, get too excited too quickly type thing. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. But, overall, just, putting the swag together, slowly starting to gather stuff together, working on tuning up the singing voice, doing some lunges here and there, just stretching it out, just taking it easy leading up to it. So I think this is definitely going to be the countdown, the kickoff to the countdown, and excitement's just going to build from here on out for the rest of the week for sure.
Well said, Badger. You hit on a point, actually, I wanted to make mention of it. It's not going to go in the For Your Health segment, but it might as well be a For Your Health. Seen a number of texts flying around this week that Legends, in their preparation to play soccer next week, have been playing soccer. This is an idiotic idea, all right? I just want to tell you, a number of Legends have already hurt themselves, so maybe just tools down, and that's how you stay sharp. If you're not getting your soccer fix, The Big Green, probably on Netflix, Ladybugs, She's the Man, and of course, Kicking and Screaming. That's what you need to do to watch and get prepared. Do it every night, different movie. You might want to throw in Unnecessary Roughness. It's a football movie with Kathy Ireland, I believe. Also a terrific show. Trust me on that one, Legends. And I'm looking at you, Benny Stanfield. But whatever you don't actually do any sports this week, because we're running out of players rather quickly. We're all a little bit older, a little bit rounder, a little bit less fit than we were 4 years ago. with the exception of Jose and Predator, shout out to those guys in the TO. Apparently, those guys are ripping up, and maybe potentially also Luke Grinder, Hollywood himself. I've heard he's also very fit, and of course Billy Benson is always fit because he's the type of guy to stay fit for other activities. Amen. So just kind of a point that we're talking about being ready for soccer by playing soccer. It's counterintuitive, but don't do it. Save the big injury for Saturday in front of the Gardens. Trust me, it's going to work out way better. Way better.
Worked for Haas. He saves it for the right in front of the Gardens twice, I think. Good for him.
Unbelievable commitment to excellence.
Quick question: is Spilly bringing the disco lights this year? Or just out of curiosity.
Anyone's guess, really.
Maybe new designs, maybe some sparkles in there somehow.
I would assume yes until you see no. That's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Spilly's on a journey all to and of himself. But there was a J-Hoss shout out. I'm pretty sure I saw J-Hoss in the chat earlier, just briefly. So J-Hoss, if you're watching, cheers to you, my friend. Before I go to Max, Scotty, what about you? I mean, you're a part of this crew. You're not just the co-host, but love to hear your thoughts on what you're doing to get ready for next week.
Let's see. Well, I guess I started last May when we all got together. And then since then, life has been a real roller coaster. Got a new broom. I use it mostly for like sweeping the garage. I can do indoor, outdoor. You can get like a ball out of a tree if the ball is stuck, like broom stuff. Other than that, nothing. No, I don't run or play soccer or anything like that. No, just gonna show up. So yeah, that's about it for me since last year.
Scintillating stuff, Scotty, as
Thanks,
usual. You went a little esoteric on me there. I'm not really sure how to interpret it, but I trust you.
That's just the update since like a year ago. That's all I've been up to.
So humble.
I can remember. Yeah.
Stay humble, Scotty. Stay humble.
Kind of interested to hear a little bit more about the broom. Like, what color broom handle did you go with?
It's a wood grain.
Wood grain, nice.
Yellow straw bristle,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a broom.
All right, Harry Potter. That's enough from me. Let's back. I don't know how to follow that up. How you're going to follow that up, but Wingardium Leviosa, your answer.
Good luck is how you're going to follow that up.
What are you doing to get ready for next week? Let's move this car train wreck.
Well, I'm kind of like Perry in that, like, you get buried in life stuff, right? Like your work and your family and stuff like that. But tonight is kind of planting the fire. And as we talk about this stuff, like right now, I'm starting to get excited about it. T-Roy always says that, coming up to, I find the night before, it's like Christmas when I was a kid. I can't sleep. And I'm not at that point now, but I think I will be there. But T-Roy said that he usually has some dreams coming up about the tournament. He said he hasn't had any yet, and he was getting a little concerned about that. But I suspect that this is going to whet the appetite, and people are going to start getting a little bit more kind of amped up for it and getting more excited. So right now, this is the starting point of me getting fired up for this weekend. And for me, I really like to do just like something like every couple days before the tournament to kind of get myself set for it mentally and physically. So like just putting my swag together, as Nider was saying, finding the flag, finding some of the kit that I want to make sure I bring, make sure I got my scarf and koozies, and kind of laying them out very ceremoniously. So that's always something that kind of gets me fired up for it. And then, I'll just do something to get that competitive spirit going. And, it could be just something like at school with my students, maybe, I get involved and maybe I'll do a little something where we have a little competition or something like that, just to get my competitive juices going a little bit. And And then probably about 2 days before, I'm fired up. I have not yet started practicing for the boat racing. This was my first pounding a beer in quite a while. So, this is something I'll have to look at. In the past, I used to pound a glass of water every night, just as fast as I could, as a way to practice for those beer gardens. So maybe I'll start doing that as well, just to, fine tune some of those skills as well.
I love it, Mac. And well said. Before I move on, I just want to acknowledge the legendary Rich has joined the chat from Jamaica. He's a little late.
Our Stu.
One of those guys I'm looking forward to seeing next week. I haven't seen him in a while. So, Rich, I'm looking forward to having a beer with you, brother. Can't wait to see you. For my part, just very quickly, I, like you, I've got a few more days of work to get through. What's that? But so a little bit of stress before the elation of the weekend. And you know what? Sometimes that's the best way to do it, is to go through something a bit stressful or hard, and then it just makes the high that much higher. And I'm really looking forward to that. I will say this weekend I do have a couple things to get prepped for next weekend. I imagine, like many of you, we all, we buy a new shirt, we go get the scarf cleaned. We, make sure we've got all of our LWO paraphernalia done. We get all of our denim sewn. So I was going to save it for the announcement section, but I'm just going to reveal it right now. Next weekend at the Beer Garden, there will be an LWO Radio autograph session with me and Scotty. You'll be able to get a signed photo dedicated to whoever you want. We're going to be doing that in the Beer Garden for you legends. So stay tuned for that. Time and day to be determined. But you don't want to miss that. It's going to be great. We'll sign it to you. We'll sign it to your lover. We'll sign it to your wife. We'll sign it to your mom, Rock. We will sign it to your kids. We will sign it to the stranger you just met in the Beer Garden. But that's a live reveal on the air tonight. So we got to go down to London Drugs. I got to hope that they'll print out those photos of Scotty's bum, because it's a little slightly porno. And I'm pretty sure it'll get through the filter, but if not, we might have to just blur some stuff. You get the picture. You're still going to get a great photo. Don't worry, no matter what.
Some stuff.
So next week, that's what I'm going to be doing. And little things like that, each day in the lead up to the tournament can just keep that buzz going. Hey, I'm going to be buzzed to go into London Drugs and get these photos produced and see the look on their face when they see Scotty's bum in black and white. That's going to be exciting for me. I'm looking forward to it right now. And so, legends, find that magic now. Find that magic. And if you don't have it, I'll send you pictures of Scotty's bum, and you can go get that developed at the local photo lab. It's a win-win. Right, Scotty?
Why do you have so many pictures of my bum?
I have one, but you can just print it off as many times as you like.
Oh, that's cool.
I know.
Technology.
Alec wants a picture of the broom. Slow down there. We got another
I can
Hogwarts.
go grab it. It's just over
Me
there.
too.
Personal.
Me
That's
too.
personal.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, boys. I'm gonna go to you, Badger, next. The next question. What are you most looking forward to next week?
I mean, I think it's probably going to be everybody's top choice. It's going to be the gardens. It's just, I mean, the on the field stuff is fantastic. Playing together is fantastic. But really the gardens is where everything kind of comes together. The boys get together, the chat starts, the songs begin, the beers are flowing, the teas are flowing. It's just good times all around. I think every time I think about May Long Weekend, I think about how legends just do it a little bit differently. We do the bar first thing in the morning. We do Denny's late night. We do things a little bit different than everybody. And T Money, actually chatting with him in the week, he said it right. Last year, May Long, great time, great having all the boys together. Lots of drinks, lots of fun, a little bit of song, but it didn't have that full May long weekend vibe without the competition. I think the competition aspect brings it all together. And just looking forward to competing together, drinking together, chatting together. Don Cherry's, Denny's. I mean, I'm looking forward to May long.
It's a full package, isn't it, Badger?
Absolutely.
It's like if you could take next weekend and you could bottle it and you could sell it. Not that being a legend is for profit. We know it's not. That's not what we're about. But if you could.
We would be about that if we could.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we would. Holy shit. We would all be wealthy beyond our wildest dreams.
Sell the shit in a second.
And I have wild dreams. Wealthy beyond our wildest dreams. Mac, going to you. What is that one thing you are looking forward to the most next week?
One thing? Come on, Holla.
Give me one. Give me two if you want.
Well, I'm gonna have to walk you through the whole process. So the first thing is the road trip up is unbelievable. That is such a good time. You know, the road bingo is always good to get us started off because the road bingo always has a couple challenges that involve drinking. So it kind of gets people going and gets the vibes going. And then Circle of Trust at the summit. Love the Circle of Trust. And then, you know, by the time we hit that connector, it is just really, really good times. There's songs being sung. You know, we're naming RVs and stuff like that, like the Anal Predator and stuff like that.
Anal Adventurer, yes.
Yeah, so by the time we get to the connector, the good times have really taken full effect, and it is just like an absolute. And then we get to Don Cherry's, and we meet everybody there, and that is just absolute. So that whole process of starting with a group of guys and starting the adventure, and then along the way having a few kind of real nice traditions to get us going, and then meeting up with all the guys is just unbelievable. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the guys who we haven't seen for a while because we haven't had the tournament. Like, you know, the TO guys, I'm really excited to see those guys. Our Stu, I haven't seen him for ages, you know, so just seeing some of the dudes who we haven't been able to connect with for a long time. I'm super, super excited about that. But the road trip up is super good. I am not looking forward to the road trip back. That is always awful. It is painful, and we're all hungover and hurting. Although there have been some really good times on the road trip back, including some flying pee and stuff like that. Like, that's always entertaining. And remember when we brought back the young dude? Anyway, so we've had some real nice
whoa. Who
No, I know exactly what Mac's talking about. It was one of Bremner's buddies. That didn't come out right. I know exactly. And there's a picture.
You're not helping, Barry.
So that's the time we jumped into human trafficking. That's a fantastic story.
No. If you look at Alex, I think it's his profile picture on the LWO website. It's a picture of the young kid. Beside Alex. I'll stop talking.
And I'll finish your story.
No. It's just we ended up somehow he was like a stowaway in the man van. He was just like, I'm going back to the valley. All right, we'll hop in the van. Let's roll.
Again, not helping.
Yeah, that sounds like human trafficking again. Still, so.
There's no really good explanation we can make of it, but it did happen.
He was a nice kid.
Yeah, I see.
But that's the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to. And you know what? It's the thing like the Jenga block. It's like all of a sudden we have all these things that are super awesome, and then all of a sudden we come up with something new that's also freaking awesome. And so I'm looking forward to just all these things like the autograph signing. I'm looking forward to beer tap technology. I'm looking forward to sipping from the chalice. I'm looking forward to seeing Orton being passed around. Like, all this stuff is just
tube tops?
So good. Tube tops, like all of it. I'm super fired up. God, I'm so excited now that I don't know if I can come down.
Librarian.
Okay.
Librarian.
Yeah.
Do you remember Monty sort of chanting from the window there, like Juliet? Do you remember, like, kind of just
Oh yeah, Monty
Father
always
Abraham
Monty
from
does
the
the
window.
songs. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm hoping we can convince Monty to do a little days of the week. That would be outstanding. Yeah, pull
Oh,
us.
sorry, days
We're
of
gonna
the week.
turn you upside down and shake you. You're gonna be jingling like you got a pocket full of change. Ching, 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 ching. No, I haven't stolen the goblet. Fuck you, Polis. You got like a rocket in your pants there, and we know it's not your dick.
Dirty little goblin.
Well,
So
shout out to Monty.
that's the stuff I'm looking forward to. Even Polis trying to steal the goblets. I love it.
Trying to get Monty torqued right now.
He's sneaky.
He'll be loving it. Every little piece of it.
Monty's not torqued already. An hour and 20 minutes into this episode. That's definitely going to finish it.
By the way, I'm also looking forward to singing in the gardens and the new stuff. Like whenever, like I'm sure that Lightningstruck's going to come out. At the hockey tournament, we came up with a new one. It was really good. It was when do we party? And then everyone yells day and night. And then who do we party with? David Knight. It was so good.
Ooh.
Can I just go back to that and give a little background on that?
Sure.
So we were sitting at Monty's, and I want to say, I can't remember, it was Friday night or Saturday night. It was all blur. I think it was the same night we went to Crown and Anchor. So whatever night that was.
Saturday.
So we were sitting around, hanging out, and I think there was a hockey game on, and Matt comes walking into the room and says, no, we are legends. We're all sitting together. We're having a good time. There's no way we were sitting around watching a hockey game. If we're not going to the bar, we're watching LWO Radio. So sure enough, we threw on the Champ episode of LWO.
One of my favorites.
Sat there, had an
Excellent.
absolute epic time, just great chat, great laughs and everything. And then a couple of us just kind of sauntered off into, if you've been to Monty's, you know that there's compartments of Monty's place. So we sauntered off into a new room there, and we were just sitting around chatting, and all of a sudden just a freestyle broke out. Mac just started directing, like one of the guys did, I think it was me, Koskamaki, Atomize, yourself. I think the four of us, and Mac just directed it, and there was a beat going on. Everyone had a different part to play, and it was just a good laugh. And then I don't even know how the song came about out of that, but there was just a good beat and a good rhythm going and a good flow. And I think Koski threw it out there or something. Did you ever hear how Dave Knight sounds like day and night? And then it was just bang.
Yeah. And that's what I'm looking forward to, the spontaneous stuff that just magically happens.
Exactly. I've partaken in a few jam sessions with Mac myself on that Man Right Up, and it is that spontaneity, the magic that happens in the moment that I'm looking forward to. So good shout there. Perry, how about you? Like you got that one thing that you're really just gravitating towards, thinking about, you can't wait?
Well, like the fellas have just checked off tons. Like Mac just dropped about 10 things that I've been sort of thinking in the back of my mind, like just excited. You kind of get the little giddiness in your tummy there when you start thinking about it. And yeah, it's gonna be hard to come down from it just in advance. I got to work for the next week, but that's okay, movie time. But I would say the drive up it's elite. Like it's the anticipation, the excitement. Circle of Trust at the summit there. I just fucking love those kinds of traditions, and just having not seen all of you for so long in person, and then all of a sudden it's like you just basically pick up from where you left off, and everybody just like a bunch of giddy kids just ripping around. And yeah, once we get to Vernon, it's just like, you know, it's like we settle in and everybody's sort of getting in their rooms, and you know, trying to be on good terms with the receptionist, because you know you're about to just fuck that place up. And then yeah, you kind of just, I love hotels, to be honest. Like there's nothing better than staying in a hotel, because like, I don't know, admittedly I like to keep a tidy house, and when I stay in a hotel I'm like a fucking rock star. Like I just don't care. I'm just like, fuck that, like it's not my job. No disrespect to the housekeepers, because they do an excellent job, but like, I don't know. I made a bit of a mess at the Salmon Arm Hotel there, but yeah, it just feels more relaxed. I mean, the beds are not your own, but you make them like your own. And But as far as like one thing, that's a really hard question to answer. I would say, I mean, there are many legends who I absolutely love to see, having not seen them in a long time, but there's nothing quite like a Monty hug. And like it just envelops you. It just like hits you in all the right parts. And yeah, I look forward to a big Monosaurus hug until about 9 p.m. And then I'm like, fuck that. Like, I'm out of here, because what the hug could turn into a death grip or a paw, like. So there is a limit. 9 p.m. would be the last time I'd go in for one, just in case, But
You have to be bear aware, Perry. Have to be bear
100%.
aware.
And it usually kicks in at about dusk, because that's usually when they come out to feed and stuff. And I think it's like instinctual, which is totally fair. I respect that. The other question I had before I say, I mean, I've already listed one thing, but are we staying at the Prestige, or where are we?
Vernon Lodge.
We are at the Vernon Lodge,
okay,
which is if you're in like a Okanagan shoe shop person, it was back in the day. It was the like rock star hotel.
Does it have like an interior oasis?
It does. It has a river running through it.
Okay.
With a jungle-like atmosphere around the pool.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. Someone is gonna pass out by the pool and think they've gone to Hawaii. It's gonna be so awesome.
Say no more, because like that, I actually was kind of thinking about that hotel. I knew we didn't get the Sandman because it booked up, but like I was kind of anticipating us staying at that one hotel. And I mean, think about how sexy legends are in a beer garden. Let's just see and look at how sexy we're gonna be next to fake foliage. Like, holy shit!
It's real.
It's real.
We had breakfast in the atrium. I think one. I remember not eating there, but sitting there and sucking a coffee down to try and revive me. But
that's true. And we did. That was it was an anniversary year, and we did Troy organized some trivia. And we had a trivia competition during our little brunch there.
Jeopardy?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if there was, I haven't looked at the Yelp review, but I would guess that that's 5-star accommodation. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, but yeah, prestige worldwide, as Scotty says. That's me. I mean, there's so many more things, but yeah, excited.
You picked out the Oasis of legends. That's gonna be top notch. Nothing bad will happen. I'm sure we'll be fine. How about you, Scotty? Like, what do you got? Like, what do you got up your sleeve? What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to the most? What's the singular thing?
Well, you always come to. I don't like that you come to me last, because all the good things were said, and I'm just going to repeat them, because the drive up is usually pretty fun. And just to correct Mac's point, there was not pee thrown on the way back home. I think the pee was thrown on the way up. So that is one thing I'm not looking forward to. That was no, it was on the way home.
Yeah, I was on the ride down through Hope.
Jesus Christ, what did we do on the way up?
That's not to say somebody didn't throw pee on the way up. To be fair,
we didn't throw it. Listen, I don't mean to be pedantic, but we didn't throw it.
It was
in a bottle that Batesky was holding.
Yeah, so no, I'm looking forward to a lot of the same things as everyone else, but I'm not looking forward to repeating that incident. So I would like to be maybe middle row of the Brem bus. I would love to try that row out, because the back row, I believe, was me and Bremner and Atomize, and it was sticky, and it's just stunk like, I don't know.
It was hot.
It was like it had an aroma of all American slams to it. Like someone only consumed those all weekend, and then
it's kind of messed up. Like when you get on a plane, you're like, "Well, where's the safest place I'm gonna be?" Over the wings, yeah, like safest spot. But like you're strategizing as to where you're gonna be safe from pee. Like in a van, that's a legit thought. You gotta be cautious of splash and deflection, etc. Yeah.
No matter where you are in the man van,
yeah,
I gotta assume that you're in trouble. Have to do.
That's really good. That's really good. You're in trouble. Does Adam still have that van? Because that's fucking gross if he does. I would have got rid of it instantly.
I feel like this is a look ahead, not a look into the past. Just no accusations. A lot of this allegedly happened. It was a long time ago. Statute of limitations. Anyway, moving along. Thank you for that answer, Scotty. You are looking forward to getting pee on you. Don't worry, you're my roommate. Probably going to happen. That's just the magic of the weekend. That's the spontaneity that I'm pre-planning right now. Pre-planned spontaneity. Maybe I'll inspect some mufflers this coming weekend. That would be great, wouldn't it? I know Bartman deputized me as a muffler inspector last year. Got a hat. Got a good look at the Brembus muffler. And
I think it was a trailer hitch.
Hey, did you ever find did you ever find out who hit you up in Salmon Arm? That was a hit and run in the parking lot of the clubhouse.
No,
that's like criminal.
There was no video footage of the event that I could find through my lackluster trying. But you know what? We're gonna, Bartman, I'm telling you right now, I'm coming up to inspect some muffles. So I think that's the name of the muff inspector.
Muff inspector. Muff
Things
inspector.
are getting awfully hot in there.
Snorkeler hat, you're in.
Muff inspector.
How many openings does he have? Curious.
If it's on the payroll, that's great.
They counting ears and mouth? All right. Look, this is getting weird real fast. As you do at 1 hour and 31 minutes. All right. I'm going to go to Scotty first on this one because he made a big deal about the last question.
Damn right.
Scotty, I want you to pass this around because I have to take a pee break. It's weird, all this pee talk. So I want you to pass this around the group, but I want you to tell everyone on air which legend, whom are you most excited to see? Pass around and tell a story about that legend because I'm going to be a couple minutes.
It's really, really hard to figure out which legend I'm looking forward to because there's so many emotions that come up. All his shirt tease is helping, but it is really hard because there is so many, and I don't even see the local ones that often, which is too bad. But that's what happens when you make the choice to have a forever roommate and a kid. But I'm just gonna go with the obvious answer, and that is Monty. Monty provides me with a lot of different feelings. He is my favorite person to see, and he's also like nightmare fuel. When he finds something, I don't know what it is, but when he finds it and he wants to use it against you, he's not stopping, and God bless him for that. So I'm gonna say Monty for sure, but there's a whole bunch. I mean, like the legends coming from the back east. Even the ones it's everybody, but I'm gonna throw Monty down there. I think Holla tasked me with something there, so I'm gonna pass this not to Mike Perry because he just got up and left, but maybe Dave Knight, Honey Badger. Who are you looking forward to seeing the most? And if you say Coolio, I'm gonna turn you off.
No, I'm good. I think it's probably everyone that we're looking forward to seeing the most, and that's Lou Pasaglia. I'm just absolutely excited to see him there and maybe doing a stuntman for us. He's coming though, right?
That would be a big deal. I haven't been on the inside track on is Louis coming, but I presume once we booked the Prestige Worldwide with the fake atrium, that was, yeah, he's 100% coming.
I mean, come on, he's going to be there. If he doesn't show, probably I'm going to go with my my backup, which is a hell of a backup lineup, is the doctors. Poulos, Billy, Murdoch, all the doctors, always great to see. Mostly because I tell my wife I'm going to go see the doctor on Friday, And then it explained on Monday that they had to do extensive testing on me. And then that's what took me so long and why I'm in the condition I'm in on Monday.
That's
So,
really good. I like
yeah.
that you used that. There was a time when Holla was trying to convince me to come to a Salt Spring tournament years back, and I couldn't play as after knee surgery, and I hadn't talked to my wife at all. She wasn't a big fan of like, you can't go there. You're going to get drunk and hurt yourself, blah, blah, blah. And then I woke up early and I couldn't sleep. And I thought, you know what? I think I can go to Salt Spring. So I just left and I put a note down that said, went to Salt Spring. I'll be back in a day or 3. And that was the honest to God truth. I was back in a day or 3. I even left the festivities at Salt Spring at one point to go home, and then was in the ferry lineup and said, this is fucking wrong. I gotta go back. So I went back to Holla and the fun guys there. So I support that decision of seeing the doctors and definitely using them as a scapegoat to stay away from your family at all costs. How about Mike Perry? Who are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Yeah, I just had a little bathroom break there. Sorry, I ditched right in the middle of question period there. I was off camera, I hope. Was I?
Most of you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There was a veiny bit.
That said, there's a name I haven't heard kind of thrown out yet. It's man by the name of Mathieu Lebel. And I think the last time I saw him was this time last year up in Salmon Arm. Just a straight beauty, that Matt Lebel. Crusty-eyed, son of a gun, ready to party. Also could sneeze at any point. No, just an absolute beauty. Just a defensive stalwart there. I can't say for sure, but I want to say Lebs puts in probably the longest drive, maybe of all the legends to get to Vernon. Definitely to Salmon Arm. I think it was at least a 10-hour drive. And I hope for his sake that his retina is attached and ready to play. Was it a scratched retina? What took him out last time? It was a
detached. It was
corneal,
the thing came out.
Cornhole, something.
Retinas.
I mean, like Badger said there, we're pretty lucky in the sense that like we have a lot of backup in the event that some guy goes down with a tree issue. Poulos will save him, and maybe even an eye issue. Murdog's there too. So like, yeah, Matt Lebel, solid man. Pride of Edmonton, working to save the environment, but just one hell of a center back too. So yeah, Matt Lebel, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't think he's in the chat. I just see Bates' name pop up there because that's the same vintage, right? Like, I'm just looking forward to casting Bate out and just seeing what we come back with. Because I mean, that's all in his name. God, he's like a fine wine, getting more attractive with age, I'm sure. So it's been a while since I've seen Bate ski, and yeah, looking forward to catching up and chatting about the good old times and all the things we used to be able to do and all that fun stuff. So yeah,
amen to all of that. And as far as the farthest drive, I don't know because it hasn't been determined yet, but I don't know how Rich Stewart got to Jamaica, but if he's driving from there, that's pretty impressive in itself. How about Chris McDonald? Or you're the last one. Let's see. And no one's mentioned my name yet, but go ahead.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Scotty in the flesh. Like, God, that's going to be so hot. And, Scotty always just adds the je ne sais quoi to the road trip up, although he will not be in my vehicle from the sound of it. But
I don't know what that means anyway.
I suspect that you guys, so for people watching you, we're taking multiple vehicles from the island here, from the Rock, and Bremner in its infinite wisdom has decided that they're going to catch the 8:00 ferry, and then they're going to stop and Hope at a pub for lunch. And I suspect they're going to get caught there, and the rest of us are leaving at either 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and we're going to catch them at Hope. Like, let's be honest. And they might need to get a DD at that time. So we'll see. Maybe we'll play some rock, paper, scissors. We'll do a double jump, a skipping contest to find out who the most sober is. And they might have to drive that vehicle all the rest of the way up. I'm just going to throw this out there. And I am 100% sure this is not happening this year. But someday I would love to see this happen. the person who I would most look forward to seeing at this tournament would be Gammy Walters. So if you don't know Gammy Walters, Monty's brother, Gammy, was essentially the person who started the group of dudes who became the LWO, became the Legends, and Gammy did a lot of work to kind of put us together at the beginning. And he was a hell of a player, and he was a hell of a manager, and he understood how to make guys come together. And he decided that he just wasn't able to play for whatever reason. He's got work, he's got family, blah, blah, blah. So do we all. Fuck you, Gammy. So anyway, he has not come. And a few years ago, he came and gave us a little bit of a tease by coming and warming up for a game. But I'm just going to throw this out there that the person who I would love to come to a tournament one year would be Gammy. And for Gammy not just to be there, that would be great, but for him to suit up, because he is a Hall of Famer legend, first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, he might, if we're going to start a Hall of Fame, he's the dude that starts it all. And I think it would just be absolute magic to have him come and be a part of this again. So, yeah.
Respect. 100%.
Good shout.
Well, that's probably the best answer that could have been given. So that's why we saved it to the end, because that's what a good host or co-host would do. But since Holla's back from his diaper change, we'll turn it back to him to rein this thing back in.
Keep moving this thing along as you do. Shout out to the Legions of Legends worldwide who've stuck with us. We've held a pretty consistent around 20 views. I haven't gone to look to see how my thumb count is doing. We're up to 12. Congratulations. That's pretty good. That seems pretty good. And if you're watching on the replay because you couldn't catch us live, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully you got a beer in your hand. This is meant to be a social thing. So cheers to the Legends watching along. Cheers to all my guests. Cheers. You got to get in the mindset for next week. That's what I'm talking about.
Do you think old school is going to make an appearance? I could use a walking stick.
Anybody know? Maybe let's ask the chat.
Maybe old school. Maybe.
Tell me. 2019.
Legends
Maybe he
well.
needs that invite.
Coolio, really thumbs uppy.
I think doesn't old school and Keith Ski go together in their like random whereabouts? Like, are both of them? They're just probable.
I thought they were the same guy.
They might be.
Oh
no.
T-Money, who is probably singularly the one guy who would know.
Heck, it wouldn't.
He thinks yes. Dolly has added some color commentary to this.
I'm sorry. I know what that means, but I've never seen those words in that order before, like in front of my eyes. That's fantastic.
Obviously, we haven't read the Bible. Even. Let's move this along here before we dabble too far into one topic or another. I wanted to just acknowledge that for those of you watching and playing along at home, Badger is on wardrobe change number 3, I believe. So if you're keeping score at home, that's what you want on your scorecard. A little live wire action there. Good shout. Number of people appreciating that in the chat, by the way. Chat was alive to it. Good work, chat. Before we move on to the next segment, there's one last question I have to ask all of our guests about next week. We talked about some of the legends we want to see, and we talked about some of the things we're looking forward to, and some of the things we're doing in the lead up. But if you can say, if I gave you the gift, because this is a gift, if you could say to the legends watching this show, if you could tell them one thing with respect to next weekend, I want you to think about this. If you could tell them one thing, one special message, Think about it. I can see smoke's coming out of Perry's ears. What would that message be? And I'm going to just open the floor because I don't know who's ready with that message. So, if it's you, come off mute, share that special message.
I wasn't listening.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Good start. Good
Always
start.
one. I'll start because I was looking at the forecast and I just went to Shoppers today and bought about 50 tons of fucking SPF 100. So I'm gonna start putting it on now. So bring your fucking sunscreen because you're gonna fucking melt. That's step one.
For your health is the next segment.
Yeah. Jumping ahead, Perry.
I'm getting burnt off this fucking light in here.
It's unbelievable.
Sorry, that's the next segment. That's a tough one. Mental preparation, I think, has got to be top of mind. No pun, but like, I'm always living by the mindset that you sort of act like you know what you're doing and nobody asks questions, right? Like, yeah, like you can stack up against a talented lineup, but when it comes down to it, it is as much mindset as it is physicality and skill set and ability. So yeah, we've got a solid roster. Had a peek at the schedule there to see who we're up against. A couple of out of province teams, a couple of in province teams. End of the day, we've got a solid crew who have each other's back, and I think we're going to compete no matter what. So mindset, definitely important. I look forward to a good pregame Mac speech, to be fair. No pressure, Mac, but like that gets me going. It's a bit awkward when I start the game fully torqued, but it's it's definitely something that gets me fired up. So yeah, mindset.
Nice.
Love it, Perry. Love it, Perry. Anyone else want to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I looked up. I was trying to look at a good quote to kind of come into this a little bit, and one came from Billie Jean Kidd, and it was champions keep playing until they get it right, then they play more. And I thought that was a really good quote that came across to legends. But I thought the Honey Badger says it better: when legends keep drinking until they get it right, then they butt chug. So I think that's more applicable. So for May Long, but I mean overall 3 days, just bring the energy. I mean, we haven't done this in so long. It's time to bring that energy back. Bring everything you got to that weekend. Just do it to it.
Love it, Badger. Well said. Anyone else want to come in on this?
Well, I'm just going to throw out one of my things that I tell a lot of my students when we're like having a heart to heart about like, things are going rough. You got to get through a bad time. When like when the going gets rough, the tough get going. Like, do or do not. There is no try. So either do something or don't do it. Don't tell me you're going to fucking try to do something. Come, let's have a real nice time. Let's fucking do it. And don't tell me you're going to go half-assed on anything. We're either going to do it and we're going to have a real nice time and it's a success, or we're not going to do it and then we'll figure out a way to do it better next time. But don't tell me that you tried. So we're going to go all in on this weekend. And when I say all in, let's just go all in on everything. We're going to have the social aspect where we get together, we bond, we relive all those good times, we make new good times, we enjoy ourselves on and off the field, and then we go home, and then we can go back to our lives with this little bit of a break where we've managed to find an oasis of togetherness with a group of dudes who are just freaking awesome. And then we can go back to the mundane aspects of work. We can go back to the sometimes painful aspects of family, and then we're just better off for it because we've had these 3 days of absolute bliss. So let's go hard. Let's have a real nice time and let's embrace it, because we haven't done this for 4 years. And who knows if this is the last year that we can do this. So let's freaking do it.
I love it, Mac. That's fucking such a hype. It's such a vibe. It is such a vibe. And it's
That's
so
why
true.
you clean up. That's why you clean up.
It's so true. You start thinking about it, you're like, none of us knew 2019. And for a long time, we thought after 2019, with everything that's gone down, that was it. We're done. It's over. That was our last chance at grasping glory. And we got a second chance of that. And not a lot of people get that in life, just in general. It's such a vibe. I too, like you, Honey Badger, have a quote that I think about, and it's not attributed. So I might have massaged it actually a little bit for this audience. And it basically goes like this: live for a weekend you can't remember with legends you will never forget.
That's a t-shirt.
It's a something.
I like it.
I'm not going to remember I said it in the morning, so someone will have to remind me. Somebody write that down.
That's
you're the responsible one. But anyways, I think that's the way it rolls. Scotty, anything else you want to add to this segment? Any other future you want to tell your future self? What do you want to tell them?
Well, I can't go after that thing from Mac. That's bullshit. I don't
Well,
know.
no, that's
Yeah, let's get really. I got this. As the great philosopher Brad once said, "Let's get fucking mental."
Ooh, I like it. I didn't know he was a philosopher, but that's fucking brilliant.
He's something. I think he works at a university or grocery store or something.
Genius.
Just went up another fucking level. Unbelievable, boys. Chat, thanks for sticking with us so far. We're moving along. Great messages out to all of you. We're all looking forward to seeing you next week. And before we move on to the next segment, one last really important piece. This is our first tournament weekend with the belt. You know, we all know this. Legend of the Day. It's got various different names. To talk us through the belt, to remind us of the criteria, to talk about what it stands for, I'm going over to the guy who came up with the whole thing. You can see it over his shoulder. I'm going over to the Honey Badger. I want you to talk us through the belt and what's on the line for next weekend.
Holla, you nailed it. There's a lot of different names for the belt. Leyenda del Dia in Spanish. It's Leggenda del Giorno in Italian. It's Dagen's Legend in Swedish. It is the legend of the day. It is a big deal. I'm not going to play it small. I'm not going to play it short. It's a big deal. That legend displays that legendary attitude. It has that legendary act throughout the weekend. How much you contribute on and off the field, in the gardens, on the field. Like I've talked about before, it's where are you at Denny's at 1 a.m.? Where are you at Don Cherry's at 10 a.m.? You got to be there. That's what a legend is all about. That's the legend of the day. It's not to be confused with the yellow jacket. It's not to be confused with the beer leader jersey. Those are competitions and identifications of excellence in their own category. So this is its own category. So it's is it about getting absolutely hammered and passing out at the field and not coming alive again? No, is it about getting trashed and going to a family function and only to come back later that night after being kicked out of said family function and being back in the gardens? Maybe that's what it is. That's a legendary thing to do. So, overall, legends that rally, that cheer, that sing, that eat moons over my hammy. That's what a legend is all about. Legends that work, that are there throughout the weekend. Maybe a legend that does a sit down bicycle. I mean, I don't know. There's different qualities that show up at Don Cherry's. Everything, every part of that. If it sounds like you might be eligible to be the legend of the day, or as they say in Japan, Sanohi no Den Setsu. So
well said, Honey Badger. What are there any sort of like ground rules we need to know? Like, is there places maybe this belt shouldn't go? Like, I don't know. Is there anything to protect this instrument, because it does look a bit nicer than some of the garments we have handed out in the past?
Absolutely. I mean, the belt is legit. I mean, those that have seen it, those that have held it, know its legitimacy. It is something for the field. It's something for the gardens. It's something for the legends. It's not something for the bars. It's not something for the strippers. Not that anyone would dream of going there with money, but it's something that, it kind of hangs out with legends. Maybe it makes an appearance at Denny's, but I mean, that's questionable still. But it's something for legends to be proud of.
I think what Scotty was trying to ask, does it double as a contraceptive?
No. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it does.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Strap that sucker on, Perry. Guarantee it'll fit you. Everyone else, I'm not entirely sure, but for the most part, it'll work.
Yeah.
I'm not putting a guarantee on it, though.
I love it.
Are you sure you don't want to put a guarantee on that?
I love it.
I'll put a guarantee on Perry. That's about it.
It's been a long time since we've seen someone have sex with a raccoon.
Well, I can tell you that we've made Bremner guarantee that he will be driving from Victoria on the Friday of the May long weekend and taking us with him. So there's about a 50-50 chance you could see some sexual activity with Trash Panda.
Raccoon.
Yeah, I see a little question in the chat there from T Money. It is awarded on it's awarded on Sunday morning. So Saturday is your day to put your effort in. Sunday morning is the award ceremony, and then yes, it is your responsibility for Sunday leading into Monday to represent that belt.
Fair to say it's a marathon, not a sprint?
You betcha.
Okay. Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Friends are important.
I can't run.
That's
Walking
you're eligible. You're still eligible.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's nice. I just like making people feel awkward when I'm drinking.
That was really weird. Like, no one really laughed at the handicap guy. That's not the friends
I totally did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Like,
yeah,
everyone point and laugh.
It was funny.
Freak show.
Freak show. Just a reminder as well, I did see in the group chat today that Champ had a very informational reminder that you should not have your hands in your pants in the classroom, in the beer gardens, etc. So shout out to you, Champ, for reminding us all. Still don't have clarity on people with three wheels. So we're looking for some clarity on that. I'm asking for a friend, but just reminded of that with the marathon comment there, Perry. So
I would say most people are pretty up to speed with hand hygiene, but
hand and pants hygiene.
It's been a worldwide pandemic since the last time we got together at one of these things. So
you would hope that people are up to speed, but
you're right. You're supposed to sing Happy Birthday twice, or in my case, I'm going to sing Lightningstruck twice while I wash my hands.
That's a good little risk ratio.
All right, on that bombshell, we're going to draw a line under what we're looking forward to next week. All the different messages we've got. A few more segments left, so don't go away. We're not done yet. A few people have dropped off the call. Bremner, probably you. Although I didn't see you in the chat, so maybe you were never here. But probably Bremner, reason to believe. I do want to talk a little bit about one of our segments we introduced in season 2 of LWO Radio called For Your Health. For Your Health. We're bringing it back tonight only, one time only. And tonight I want to talk a little bit about lightning strikes. It's kind of a theme. Google defines the temperature of lightning as 30,000 Kelvin.
Good Lord.
I know. I couldn't believe it, Scotty.
I don't even know what a Kelvin is, but it sounds impressive.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That's freaking hot. In layman's terms, as T Money would tell you, that's hotter than a fucking pistol. We know that. It's going to be hot next week. And one thing is for sure, we're going to need some tips next week for beating the heat. So here is Holla's top 10 tips for beating the heat. If I can make it work, make it work. It's not working. Add to stream. There we go. Top 10 Holla's tips to beating the heat. Write this down. The first one is hydrate, legends. I want you all to drink a lot next weekend. Okay? Hydration is the key. You can see my picture here. I'm telling you, I'm looking you in the eye. Hydration is the key for your health. All right? Next thing, as Mac pointed out, is this beating the heat or beating the meat? Works both ways. Wear loose and light colored clothing, preferably yellow with a little bit of black. Legends, you're going to be okay. You wear black and yellow, you're going to be all right. So wear loose, light colored clothing. And did I mention that you need to hydrate? That's also tip number 3.
Hydrate, social.
All right, let's reinforce the messaging, Scotty. Well done. Number 4 was never leave a dog in the car, but I rewrote it because I could. Master of PowerPoint, never leave a bear in the car. They get hot.
I have left a bear in a car before, and it took a lot of fucking effort to get him into that car. So I might check out on that one if we have to go back to it.
If it's hot, you don't want to leave the bear in the car.
I don't care.
I'm just saying. Write it down.
Imagine how upset that bear would be getting out of that car.
Oh, that would end badly. We all know it's going to end badly. Number 5, if you're too hot, take a cold shower. I take a lot of cold showers. I know this works. Cools your inner core down. Plus can kind of settle you down, if you know what I mean. Take a long shower is a different thing, but equally acceptable, legends. Number 6, you're going to want to drink a lot next weekend.
Hydrate, legends.
Hydrate.
Social.
Ugh. Okay, number 7 is going to be a little bit more difficult for a lot of us. Avoid rigorous activity. That's open to interpretation, okay? I don't make the rules. But this is my Holla's tips to beating the heat. Avoid rigorous activity. Okay, you with me? Is everyone with me so far? I'm going to put our pictures over so we can read the bottom. Internet magic. Number 8, hydrate.
Hydrate, legends.
You're going to want to drink a lot next weekend.
Or now.
I'm not specifying what you're drinking. You can drink water, Coke, twisted tea, or beer, whatever you want. Log on iced tea Sunday morning, though, Coolio. I'm in. Stu will be there, too, and I'm pretty sure Bremner. Number 9 is also a tough one. I know I haven't really covered this yet, but hydrate.
God bless the hydration.
Hydrate. You gotta hydrate to beat the heat.
Oh, I'm so hydrated.
And number 10, Holla's top tips to beat the heat for your health segment. Be a legend. If you're a legend, you're immune to lightning strike because you're causing the lightning strike. That's just how it works. It's science. All right? That's just how it works. And on that bombshell, that was this episode's For Your Health.
Thank you, Holla. I love that we have gone. You're doing your part to take care of us, because this started with some really serious conversations about mental health and blah blah blah, and it moved into physical health and hydration. And you know what? We just got to take care of each other. So thank you for that.
I just have a quick question about number 7 there. And again,
Yes.
I'm asking for a friend. I'll just throw it up to the chat. But does sexercise count as rigorous activity?
Yes.
It depends on how quickly you perform it.
Can I watch?
Yes.
I mean, just asking for a friend, like I said. But
You didn't answer my question. Can I watch?
oh, yeah, absolutely. They said
And
yes.
it totally counts. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
They said yes.
100%.
Obviously.
Can you
All
bring
right.
the room?
We are racing along now into the final segment. First thing, legendary announcements. We say it every week. The first one, I've been holding this. I saw it in the chat. I saw you, Dolly, but I already knew about this. Monty reminded me as well as T-Money. Big shout out to Legend Gee. It's your birthday.
Let's go, Gee!
Gee!
Here's to Brother Gee. Brother Gee. Here's to Brother Gee.
Who's not with us tonight.
Tonight. He's happy. He's jolly.
He
He's
swallows.
jolly. Here's to Brother
Brother
Gee.
Gee, who's with us tonight.
Oh, I'm also looking. Sorry, excuse me. I'm also looking forward to a quick round of gee.
Oh, good shout.
Good shout out. Great shout out.
Good shout out.
Gee. If I remember the lyrics correctly.
And one more announcement. T-Money wanted to remind everyone of the first game of the weekend. I thought I'd probably forget, but he was smart enough to email me. And so I will tell you the over 45s are at 10 a.m. on Saturday against the Coastal FC Legends. Fake Legends at Mac West. And the over 35s
Please don't say it.
are at 8:30 a.m. against the Calgary Crew at Mac East. Good luck with that. I may or may not be there on Saturday.
I
Probably will be there.
Throwing it out there. This might be a Comox style thing where we just go to the fields Friday night and that's where we stay. That's our best chance. Like, roll into this thing with that hungover, drunk confidence of like, we can.
Scotty, I need
do
you to
anything.
carry so I can go pee.
Oh.
Hey, won't they be at an hour time disadvantage as well? So they're basically playing at 7:30, which is essentially 6:30. So they're essentially playing at 5:30. If you think about,
I'm getting up at 4.
I think you're going the wrong way. I think we're at the time disadvantage.
Fact.
That's not good. That I'm pointing that out with the amount of cans around me right now, Perry, is really disappointing.
I'm running out of places to pee, so
so there is no real strategy to an 8:30 game, except that, like, for the love of
not
God,
hot.
I
It's
hope
not gonna
some
be
of
hot.
us, I hope some of us show up. That would be a big one.
Yeah.
That might be one where we look to get we should press really hard to get a goal early and then kick the ball as far away as possible after that, like into roads, into traffic, maybe pop it. If we have someone on the over 45s team watching, if they can take it and just leave with the ball, that'd be a big step up too. I'm not the coach. I'm not Monty or Holla, but I'm trying to think of like strategies to an 8:30 game, and those are the things that come to mind to me.
30-minute halves or 40-minute? What are we playing here?
Fuck, they better be 10s.
3 10-minute halves.
No,
Nice.
2.
2.
2 10-minute halves.
So we're playing really like a kick and walk strategy. Just kick it out of bounds and then walk back.
Hopefully the grass is short, because sometimes with the thick grass, it makes it feel like you're running twice as far.
We played there on Wednesday night. Very firm, very bouncy, very short grass.
Okay, good to know.
Very bouncy.
Keep that in mind for this week's preparations.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Practice
shirt.
on concrete.
Troy says 35s. Okay, that's doable.
Is
And
it?
no sliding in the over 45s or no sliding?
I hope not.
Nay.
Who wants to slide anyway?
That's outrageous.
Hurts.
Yeah.
Past that. No,
Good
so
point.
I'm just gonna throw that out there though. Let's really throw everything. Let's put our A lineup out there for the game, the 8:30 game. Score that goal and then kick the fucking ball anywhere but the field, and then
Put it in the alley.
no farther. Alley's not good
Yeah.
enough. It's got to
No.
go farther into like a pickup truck bed or whatever, right? Like just
Yeah.
let's think about that over the next like couple of days. Okay,
Solid 12 minutes. Like it.
exactly. That's all we're looking for.
Gotcha.
Let's destroy this tournament.
I love it. I love it.
What
Thanks
an
for
awesome
covering.
pitch.
On a soccer side.
Yeah, of course.
The rest of it will be fine.
A couple
Yeah.
toilets at least.
Cool.
Just so we're clear. Probably ours in our room there, Scotty. Before we move to the very last segment of the show, I just want to do shout outs. It is our tradition. So I'm going to start with Mac. Mac, you got anyone you'd like to shout out in tonight's episode?
I would like to shout out T Money. And the reason is that he essentially, like, let's be honest, with his pestering, I think he probably made this tournament happen. Without him saying, like, look, we're going to feed you a bunch of money. We're going to bring 2 teams. We'll even do our best to recruit other teams. Without him, this tournament might not even have come back. So T Money, massive shout out. Way to go.
All right, Scotty, how about you? I don't want to go to you last, so I want to hear about it.
Fantastic, Holla. You know me so well. Like, I mean, a shout out of Muppet or something. No, I actually am going to be serious for one of the first times in my life. I want to shout out every legend that reached out to me, and even the ones that didn't, because I know you're with me. Because I had a tough little bit there of my mom passing, and it's just been a shitty 4 years since COVID. Nothing has gone right for me. So I'm looking for this weekend to kind of reset that and let's go have some fun. So thank you to all of the yellow and black.
Good show, Scotty. We love you, brother. I mean that in the best way possible, and you'll find out the rest next weekend. Honey Badger, how about you? You gonna shout somebody out?
Yeah, well, I'm going to shout out. I'm going to shout out all the LWO affiliate teams. Actually, I'm going to shout out all the teams that keep legends fit in the in between. So anybody playing in Victoria, in the Fraser Valley, in Williams Lake, Salmon Arm. Shout out to the Beer Badgers. Those teams that keep Badgers fit in between tournaments. Those are the guys I'm shouting out today.
I love it. Good shout out and well said. How about you, Perry? You got a shout out for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys that I'm excited to see this weekend or this coming weekend, and I mean, I'm not much of a shit disturber, but if I was to start throwing hands, there's one guy who I would absolutely need support from, and that's Dolly. The guy is an absolute legend, both on the ice and on the pitch, and just brings some good energy to the group. Just a real positive presence, and always having a smile on his face. And he pulls you aside and has a nice little chat with you here and there too. So even Bart and fellas, just keen to see some new faces and catch up, like we kind of just basically pick up from where we left off. So yeah. Lots of people I'd shout out, but yeah, Dolly, looking forward to seeing you, pal.
Hell of a shout out. That was one guy on my list for a shout out. So well said. But I think for me, there's a lot to choose from. Before I give my official shout out, I just want to give us a minor shout out to the Dr. Poulos, who shared some good times a few weeks ago in Vic. I always look forward to seeing Doc. So shout out to you, my friend, a little minor one. But the Salmon Arm Boys, just a rock solid crew. Just good shit, right down to the fiber of their being. It goes for you, Badger. It goes for Monty. It goes for Dolly. It goes for Coolio. It goes for Bartman. It goes for Gary, Guy, the whole crew from Salmon Arm, and I feel like I'm missing someone. I'm going to feel terrible when
Irish Danny.
Irish Danny.
Irish Danny.
Yeah.
Just a legit human being. And so I want to shout out the Salmon Arm crew. We don't get to see as often. I see Scotty every now and then, quite a bit. I see Mac every now and then. I see T Money every now and then. I see the Victoria-based guys every now and then. But the Salmon Arm crew is really what makes things special for me, seeing you guys. And like I said, just good human beings that I like and appreciate spending time with. And so, I didn't get to say what my message was to Legends next week, but this is part of it. Cherish those 3 days together. Cherish it. It sounds hilarious. You're going to be hammered drunk, probably, most of you. We're going to be pretending we're an ATM, me and Adam, in the side of the beer garden. We're going to, walk the walk. We're going to talk the talk. But cherish the moments. It's really important. It's really important. So my shout out is to all the Salmon Arm bros. Looking forward to seeing all of you. And cheers to that. Okay, we got 12 still with us. 8 have passed out. They're intoxicated, anally intoxicated. They're in a different time zone. Nobody really knows, but that's cool. We're going to make it worth your while, you last 12. No, Louis Pasaglia is not back, although that would have been pretty fucking dope. And it's still undetermined as to whether he may show up in Vernon. He might. I don't know. Probably not.
He should.
But he should if he knew what was good for him. But our last segment, we've done the shout outs. Actually, before we get to the last segment, I do want to thank my guests because I want to end on this last segment. So Perry, thank you once again for being on the show. Perennial favorite. Honey Badger, been a pleasure, my friend. Great to see you. Can't wait to see you in person. Mac, always legendary when you join us. From episode 1 to this episode. Fantastic, my friend. And Scotty, you had to be here because, as I mentioned, contractual obligations. But you came, so
never been paid.
Yeah, well said. So we want to end it. There's been a few comments tonight on the show about Mac and his words of wisdom, and his the way he motivates us to be better and to be legendary. And so I asked Mac, I said, Mac, can you, I call it a charge, right? Like it's we want to end on a vibe. And that vibe is we're epically looking forward to next week. Next week is it. It's happening. And so I turned the microphone over to Mac. Mac, we want to end with your words.
Yeah, I have to pee real bad. So
go pee. Come back and listen.
No. Here's the deal. Look,
take us with you.
So it's been far too long since our last spring migration. I'm just going to say, we've had a 4-year winter here. It has not been good. It's been too long since we've been able to look each other in the eyes, embrace each other, since we've had the chance to go truly battle with each other. We've been robbed of time, right? We've been robbed of beer. We've been robbed of Palm Bizzles. We've been robbed of sips from Orton. We've been robbed from the chalices. We've been robbed of memories. So there were times when I was weak, and I'm going to admit this. Over the last few years, I was like, okay, I think this might be it. Our attorney days might be over. We're getting old and things are taking over. But the LWO conviction is strong. And I'm just going to say, was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Hell no.
Over when ABBA and Napoleon Dynamite were defeated at Waterloo? Was it over when Doja Cat called out Noah Schnapp on Instagram? No. Team Money scratched and he clawed and he bribed Vernon back into existence. And May long weekend, the legends will gather. They will rise from the ashes like River Phoenix, and we are going to party like it's 1995. Okay? Legends, 2 weeks from now, I will be back at work. I will imagine myself with another lightning bolt on my denim. Imagine what you will, and it will be so. Come to Vernon. Stay in the jungle-like luxury of the Vernon Lodge. If you find yourself alone, lost, and leaning against a concrete barrier, or face down on the grass fields with the moonlight on your back, do not be troubled, for you are either Alec or Monty, which makes you a fucking legend, or you are in Elysium and you're already dead. My loving LWO, the opportunity is to test ourselves against the other less handsome, less athletic, and less legendary old men. It's approaching. We are about to do this. Soon now we will meet them face to face. I am resolved in the midst and heat of battle to live or die amongst you. While we stand together, no obstacle shall impede us. Let us come to the gates of hell. We will beat down those gates, and when the day of battle has ended, we will meet in the beer gardens like a bunch of fun-loving butt chuggers and celebrate our victory. I don't know what else to say, really. 7 days until this formative moment in our lives. It all comes down to us. Either we come together and heal over these lost years, or we crumble. We had 4 years of hell, gentlemen. Isolation with our families, Zoom fucking meetings with high school students, toilet paper shortages. And we can let that destroy us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of that hell, one May long weekend at a time. Now, I can't make you do it. You've got to look into yourself, look deep in your soul. I know you're going to see a guy who will go to battle for the other legends. Okay? You're going to see a guy who will sacrifice himself for the group. We're a bunch of fun-loving butt chuggers, because you know when it comes down to it, the other legends are going to do the same for you. It's a team, gentlemen. It's a family. And either we get our asses to Vernon and party and play as a team and family, or we will die as individuals. It's as simple as that. And I will see you in fucking Vernon.
Wow. You know it. Stay legendary. See you in a fucking week.
Woo!